Hello, everyone, and welcome to Insight School of Minnesota Learning Coach Orientation. My name is Jessica Brandt. I'm the Family Engagement Coordinator here at Insight. My first year I was the high school advisor, and the past 2 school years I have been what my current role is. My contact information is up on the board. Feel free to reach out to me for any questions regarding student events, orientation or welcome workshops, system navigation for students and learning coaches, help on getting started, any Facebook posts that you may want, and if you know of any prospective families that want a little bit more information, I'm happy to help with that as well. So how you are viewing this is not through our typical Blackboard Collaborate session. Blackboard Collaborate is an application that all students need to have downloaded on their school computer, and this is because that is the application students will use to attend all of their live Class Connect sessions. You will see there's a participants section, and that is where their name will be listed and all of their classmates' names will be listed. How they communicate in class is by using the chat box. If they would like to hop on the microphone or video camera, they just need to ask their teacher. And then the big white screen is where the teacher would be going through their lesson, probably through a PowerPoint. They'll go through example problems. So that is where the content of the class will be. What to expect in the next few days. If you are just getting started with us, you might receive a school computer if you meet the free and reduced lunch criteria. If not, your student should already have a computer. School materials might be sent, so maybe a textbook or two, but not all classes have physical materials. If you do not receive physical materials for all of your students' classes, that means those materials will be provided to them electronically in their online course. You should also receive a student welcome packet in the mail, as well as a learning coach welcome packet in the mail. However, those 2 welcome packets can be accessed on our school website. You will receive a phone call from your student's advisor or another staff member here at Insight to help you get started and make sure you have what you need. You will receive many emails from support staff and teachers. It might be a little overwhelming at first, but please know all of those emails contain important information to make sure you and your student are off to a strong start. School supplies list for Insight School of Minnesota students. All students need to have a computer, so a desktop or a laptop. Students cannot use iPads, Chromebooks, or mobile devices to attend school. The application that I mentioned before, Blackboard Collaborate, that needs to be downloaded on the desktop or laptop. It is not compatible with the previously mentioned items. It's a free download and they need it to attend class. If you have questions on how to download this, it is in our school website as well. The desktop or laptop also needs to have Microsoft Office products, so at least Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. These items can be downloaded for free using the student's school email, and they need those items to complete assignments. Information on how to download that for free is also in our school website. Students also need to have reliable internet access Monday through Friday during the school hours. They also need to have a workspace, so a space where your student can attend class and complete homework without distractions. So as a learning coach, what does that mean for you? Basically, it's what your student needs. You're the expert on your student, and you know them better than we do and how they perform in school, and you know what's going to make them the most successful. So you might need to be a little bit more hands-on at first, making sure that they have their workspace set up, that you know their Class Connect schedule and ensure your student is attending all of their classes, making sure they're meeting their requirements, which is 6 hours each day, Monday through Friday, making sure you're logging into your Learning Coach account, checking on your students' progress and grades at least weekly, making sure that they don't have any overdue assignments, that they are checking their email, but you are as well. Updating any address or phone number changes, supporting the student with any school-related problems, ensuring your student participates in school and statewide testing, and making sure there's participation in all of the school activities. So I like to just put it in a graphic that you are our partner in supporting your child's academic success at Insight. If your student is meeting their expectations, you pair that with you supporting them as their guardian, as well as adding our teacher and support staff support here at Insight, then that is where your student will be successful. We cannot have one of these without the other, and we can make a promise that the teacher and support staff that will always be here, but we need the student to put in their effort as well as you as a learning coach. So some staff you should know. Mr. Huber is our head of school. His contact information is up on the board. You will probably hear from him with any school-wide information and updates as needed. Mrs. Samantha Edom is our school counselor. Contact information is up on the board as well. You can contact her for any questions you might have about schedules, credits, if your student has a 504 plan, any course options, changes, electives, social and emotional support, discussing PSEO and part-time students and schedules, and college and career options and questions. For students that are in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, their student advisor is Ms. Alicia Allen. Her contact information is up on the board. She will be you and your students' support on getting started. You can ask her any general questions. She can kind of be your go-to person if you're not sure where your question goes to. She also holds the Insight Study Hall Monday through Thursday from 12 to 3. For students that are in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, there is not currently an advisor, but there will be soon, and they will have the same position as Ms. Allen for support on getting started, general questions. So while we wait for that excellent advisor to get started here at Insight, how we are dividing it is for 10th graders, you can contact Miss Allen, and then for 11th and 12th graders, we ask that you contact Miss Towell, our family academic support liaison. So they are just interim, they're just stepping in while we wait for that advisor position to be filled. The most important people to know are your students' teachers. Every student will have at least one teacher for each of their classes, so 4 to 5 course teachers should be expected. Teachers are best to contact for specific assignments, questions, grades, progress, live assignments, live classes, assignment due dates, anything like that. So I always say if it's a question about a class, go to the teacher. Teachers hold both large group classes and small groups in Blackboard Collaborate. We call them Class Connect sessions or live sessions, and those will show up in the student's schedule. Students will attend both types of classes as they come up in their schedule. Most classes are regularly scheduled, so they can expect the same day-to-day, or not day-to-day, week-to-week. But just know that there are some optional classes or required classes that may pop up. So that's why it's important for you and your student to check their schedules every day. Attendance requirements, it's similar to brick and mortar, but it's at home, so that's kind of the beauty of it. Our system automatically tracks when your student is actively involved in their student account. So that means going through their units, doing their homework, turning in their homework, and then attending their live Class Connect sessions. You do not need to enter your student's attendance, but you do need to notify us if your student is going to be absent so that we can make sure that what we see in the account reflects whether the student was actually there or not. You can see a list of bullet points of what an excused absence is. Like I mentioned, this is just like a brick and mortar. How you excuse your student's absence. The learning coach must contact the attendance line before the student is absent with a reasoning for the absence and the length of the absence. Up on the board, you will see the email you can send that information to, as well as the phone number and extension you can also call in if you prefer that. It is then up to the student to contact their teachers, notifying them they will miss class, and then they need to work with the teacher to determine what work needs to be completed to stay caught up. Please know this is for all students under the age of 18. If the student is 18 or older, they can contact the attendance line themselves. So student expectations, students must log in at least 6 hours each day, Monday through Friday. And our system will track when they are attending all of their scheduled Class Connect sessions, which is an expectation. And when they are clicking on their classes tab and going through their units and submitting any assignments that are due that day or week. Students are expected to check their school email inbox and respond to messages daily, at least twice each day, once in the morning before they start classes and once in the afternoon before they log off. And again, that's Monday through Friday. Students are expected to complete testing. That does include statewide MCA testing, which is a face-to-face location, but that also includes USA Test Prep, FastBridge, and any testing that the teacher or school provides information on. So some frequently asked questions, does my student need a microphone or webcam? The short answer is no. Some assignments may call for video and audio components depending on the class, but they are expected to use that chat box again to communicate as well as email. Are there any in-person requirements? There are a few. Like I mentioned, state testing, and then we also offer in-person events about once a month. And those are kind of similar to field trips where we go and do an activity. So it's optional. The events are optional. Can my student go to school at any time of the day? So no, your student does have required Class Connect sessions to attend between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. But also your student can log in and complete homework at any time of the day and any day. So our system only counts the time spent Monday through Friday, but they are able to work on their homework on the weekends. Updates you can expect from us. Our main form of updates is on our Weebly website, and that is kind of your one-stop shop for everything. That website, all of the information and updates that are sent to your email can also be found on our website. We post monthly, if not weekly, Facebook posts, and that's a really easy way to stay up to date for upcoming events and school-wide information. There are monthly learning coach meetings, kind of just updates on things you need to know that month and getting some of your questions answered. And most updates are basically individualized for your student. So if your student meets with our family academic support liaison, or if they are special ed or have a 504, you'll meet with their case manager. There's also email updates from teachers, so for class-specific information, robocalls for any school-wide information, and then letters sent home with big reminders and announcements. Something I will note, all learning coaches are automatically copied on every email your student sends and receives from their student email. And that's just to ensure we all have open communication. Some opportunities that we have for your student to connect with other K-12 students across the nation is our clubs. And students can sign up for as many as they would like as long as they are in good academic standing. Those clubs are offered by other K-12 teachers and support staff throughout the country. And if your student finds that there isn't a club for them, but they may be interested in creating their own, they are more than welcome to do so. The information on those clubs are in our website, but they're also on the K-12 website. Some additional supports that we offer. One thing are our student first check-in program. We call them pulse checks. They're a short survey that is sent out by K-12. They should take about a minute to complete, and it's a way for you to let us know how you and your student are doing. And we can also reach out to you based on your answers from that survey. We have a family academic support team. For short, we call it FAST. Basically, that team provides wraparound support to ensure all students are being supported in the ways that they need. So your Learning Coach account. You will log in the same way your student does by going to k12.com and on the right side clicking OLS Login, which means online school. When you do that, you will access your account. Your name will be in the upper right corner. If it's your student's name in the upper right corner, you're in the wrong account. Your student's name will show in the upper left corner. If you have multiple students, you can click on the down arrow and switch between what student's account you want to look at. This Learning Coach account gives you all the information and views that your student sees. So you can click on the day and that will show all of their classes for that day, their live Class Connect sessions. On the left side, you will see a list of assignments, units, readings, their due date, and their progress. And we expect students are having full green check marks by the end of each day. You can also click on the weekly plan to see what their weekly schedule is like, or the overdue tab to see how many overdue assignments they have. To access quickly their grades, you can select the courses option, and that will give you a breakdown of all of their grades. But what I'm going to show next is kind of this progress tab and what that means. The progress tab, so this is just zoomed in. You can kind of use this as a cheat sheet to see what all those icons mean. So again, we want to work to full green check marks, completed or mastered. Calendar events will not have a green check mark. That usually means that that's a Class Connect session. So this is something for you to note as a learning coach to check in on your students' progress. Like I mentioned, that courses tab, that gives you a really quick snapshot of your students' grades in all of their courses, their progress, and this is the progress in the overall course. So it's going to show a smaller percentage earlier in the semester or quarter. So just know this is overall course progress. It'll show their overdue assignments, and an important one is when they last visited that course. So your student should be visiting all their courses every day, Monday through Friday. So it's a good way for you to stay up to date on whether they access their courses. And then over here, it'll say the teacher for that course, so you can click on their name and get their contact information if you want to reach out. Next, we'll talk about the student account. So like I said, same login process as the Learning Coach, k12.com, and then clicking on that OLS login. When they log in, they'll see a home screen like this. The My Schedule tab is where they will see their daily and weekly schedule and how they access their live classes. And then their Classes tab is how they complete their homework, projects, units, etc. And then in the upper right-hand corner is where their access to their school email is. They shouldn't have a large number like it's showing up here because they should be reading and responding to all messages. And again, their name needs to show up in the upper right corner, not yours. So if we quickly click into the My Schedule tab, that is going to show their schedule, and I know there's a lot of arrows, so feel free to pause this if you want to take a deeper look at it. But again, this is the very similar view that you are seeing as a learning coach, with the events listed, all of their live classes, assignments are on the left side. They can change the date to go backwards and watch recordings or forward to get prepared. So feel free to pause if you want to review that. And again, their classes tab is where all their homework and readings can be found. And we go over the student account in their new student orientation session. So next steps for you as a new learning coach. You should have received a checklist or in that welcome workshop. Again, you can access that on our school website if you do not have that. Number one would be to set up your Learning Coach account. Information on how to do that was sent by K-12 to your personal email, but you can also find the information in our school website. Making sure you're reading all emails from Insight School of Minnesota and K-12. Like I mentioned, there may be a lot at first, but it is all filled with important information, and it's more than likely that those emails will answer your questions. Make sure you assist your student in setting up their account. Again, 2 separate accounts. And that information was sent by K-12 in an email to the Learning Coach email. Make sure you complete a connection call with your student's advisor or myself. You can complete this as a learning coach, or your student can complete it, or you can complete it together if you would like. These calls take place Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This will be your first call with a ISMN staff, and it's just to make sure you and your student know what needs to be completed before or on your first day of school. We ask that you review the attendance policy with your student. Again, that's the 6 hours each day, Monday through Friday. We ask that you watch and review the K-12 Learning Coach resources. Those are linked in our school website under Learning Coaches tab. And continue to check in weekly. More often is, of course, encouraged. Checking in into your Learning Coach account and making sure you're monitoring your students' progress. I mentioned the checklist, so this is a picture of the student checklist. This can be found in our website. They do need to make sure they are checking off all of these items. Your student will have a live orientation session before or during their first week. They are able to watch a recording of that session before if they would like, and that of course is linked to our school website. They also need to complete 5 welcome workshops. If your student is enrolling with us more than 2 weeks after a quarter, then they will have to watch the recordings of the 5 welcome workshops, which are linked in the school website. Resources, there is 24/7 technical support available for students and learning coaches. There's a phone number, but you can also go to help.k12.com if you would like to watch videos and read articles to troubleshoot first. We have our school Facebook page to like and follow to stay up to date on school-wide announcements. And now there's the link to the infamous website that I keep mentioning, insightschoolofmn.weebly.com. And K-12 also offers some really awesome learning coach resources. There's also a program called Learning Coach University that I highly recommend attending to make sure that you are supporting your student as best you can. Now it says to complete the form for your attendance. Just know if you are being sent this, there should be a link in the email, or you can find it on our school website under the Learning Coach tab. And last but not least, I'll leave you with this contact information. Like I said, the 10th through 12th grade advisor will be coming soon. Please refer back to whom you should contact depending on what grade your student is in. Other than that, you can pause this and write down the information. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me, and my contact information was one of the first slides. Thank you so much for listening, and welcome to Insight School of Minnesota.